Welcome back to another episode here on The Richter Show. And today we're going to be talking about how difficult is it to get into the Galapagos Islands. If you don't know where the Galapagos Islands are, that's actually some islands off of Ecuador. They're technically part of Ecuador. And I want to explain a little bit of the process and a small mistake that I did as well. That way I can prepare you when you come over here. So let's just dive right into it. Well, the first thing I want to mention is that in order to get to the Galapagos, you need to fly over here. Usually you have to go to Ecuador, Quito, which is the capital of Ecuador. And then from there, you take a flight to the Galapagos Island. You're going to go to the island of Santa Cruz. You're going to be landing in the airport of Baltra. And something that I should mention is that if you're used to places like the US, where you can probably get an hour before your flight and you make it fine, or 2 hours is more than enough and you're still lingering around the lounge. Well, let me explain that here in Quito, Ecuador, that's not the case. You need to arrive at least 3 hours prior, sometimes even earlier. It's terrible. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna explain my experience and the way things are. I'm not gonna talk politics. I'm just gonna explain it the way it is. Unfortunately, they're not so advanced in technology over here when it comes to going to the Galapagos. Usually people are just used to going online and just like registering, paying, and then just getting over with, maybe just print out something or have a QR code and you're done. Unfortunately, that's just not the way it works when it goes to the Galapagos. You need to be at the airport and you need to get like this permit to go to the Galapagos. And when I did the line, because there is a line, it took me 1 hour of my time. I saw people crunching the numbers and seeing that they were about to miss their flight. So it does take an hour for that line, at least when I went. So when you get this, it's like special permit to go to the Galapagos, you have to pay in cash only. From the moment of this recording, it's $20 cash. I do have to also mention that in Ecuador, the official currency since the year 2000 is the United States dollar. So if you come from the US, easy breezy. If you come from another country, switch it to the American currency. And on that note, in which I'll continue to explain, bring a lot of cash. When you go to the Galapagos Island, everything here, it works with cash. No luck using the card, unless if there's some type of reservation or something you can try to do online. But other than that, you're not gonna be able to pass your debit card or your credit card. And there's only one bank in the Galapagos, at least where I went to, in Isabel Island. And I'll show you a little clip of that. But that was the only place that I could actually go and get some cash out of the ATM. So make sure you also prep your card if you need to get some cash out. But don't count on that, because that could run out. It is a very small town and cash is limited. So getting back into it, when you are at the airport in Quito, and after you pay your $20 permit, you have to go to like a special check-in for your luggage. So that's another line. When I did it, it took about 15 minutes. But once again, that starts adding to the time that you're at the airport to actually get your bag checked, because there's certain items that you cannot bring to the Galapagos, and that's what they're checking for. And then they like tag your luggage. Then you have to actually go to the check-in counter, which also takes time. It took me about 30 minutes to do that line. So we're already talking about roughly 2 hours, because since it was my first time, I was lost. I didn't understand, I didn't get what to do, and I had to start asking around until people just kind of guided me to what I had to do. So even though I was there about 3 hours early, I wasted pretty much 2 hours on doing all this stuff. So I would probably even recommend to come even earlier than 3 hours, because you don't know how long these lines can even get. Maybe I was lucky. I made it kind of right on time to my flight, because then I still had to go through TSA. I still have to check in. I still have to show my passport. I still have to walk to the gate. So all this was just time consuming. So here I recommend you do maybe more than 3 hours, because also that mental anguishment that you get, and they're like, well, I'm gonna miss my flight, because there are people who miss their flights because of this, because they don't know. So that's actually one of the reasons why I make this type of video, so you understand what you have to do. Now, once I got on the plane and I showed my permit that I can go to the Galapagos, it was about a roughly 2.5 hour flight, more or less, between, you know, taxiing and getting ready to go. Now, once I got to the Galapagos, to the Baltra airport, this caught me a little bit off guard. I didn't know it, but luckily I did have a lot of cash on me. And as soon as you enter, you have to go through like this mini pre-check, let's put it that way, to enter the Galapagos itself, and you have to pay $100 in cash. I was not aware of that. I thought that just the $20, that was it, but no, you have to pay $100 in cash. Once again, over here, cash is what pretty much predominates over credit cards and debit cards. If not, they will send you back. Anyway, after I did that, the airport is technically, to explain it, it's basically on a small island, and then you have to go to like the main island. So in order to get from the airport to the main island, you're obligated to take a bus, and this bus costs you $5. Everybody has to take it. You can't walk your way out of there. You have to take, and it's again $5 in cash. Then they're gonna take you to where the dock is, so you can switch islands. And you have to take, like, let's say like a boat taxi or like a ferry, and then that charges you $1 again in cash to get to the main island. Now, once you get to the other side, to the main island in Santa Cruz, then you need to go to the town, which is obviously where you're going to be staying at, or if you're going to go straight to the ferry, you still have to take it. It costs about $25 to grab a taxi from there to the main city. What I did see some people on the ferry or the water taxi yelling out, who's going to go to the main city, let's share a ride, because you can take 4 people on that. It's pretty much like a pickup truck. The taxis are pretty much pickup trucks, so you can put at least 4 people on there. They will share it, and then that way they can get them to the main city, and then you can go to your taxi. Now, I want to explain a mistake that I did. Since I travel solo, sometimes I'm confused, sometimes I don't know what it is, sometimes I don't do enough research on these things, and I booked a private taxi service that was actually going to wait for me at the airport with a sign with my name on it, and then that way it gave me a little peace of mind. It would take me straight to the hotel. I didn't know that still I had to pay the $100. I had to pay the $5 on the bus. I had to pay the $1 for the taxi, for the water taxi, and then obviously the taxi ride. And all this cost me approximately $75. I feel like I overpaid by $50. I should have never gotten that service. But then again, I didn't know how things worked, so I was kind of going on the safe side. But if I had to do it again, I would avoid that at all costs. There's no need to book anything special, no type of VIP treatment, because it's not needed at all. So that's a bit of the process, how to get into the Galapagos Island. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these, here only on The Richter Show. See you in the next country review.
Shout out to the host of the Richter. This the Richter Show. The Richter Show.